Yeah, who's cracking, everybody? It's your boy Big JD. Prison Break Law. Law. Uh, Basically, the celebrity elite power structure came and saw me today, and they zapped me with a really bright light. And the only thing that I remember is that I'm supposed to read this statement to you. Let me read it to you. My government is virtuous and pure. It never lies. It never deceives me, except for that orange guy, Trump. He's a Russian spy. I'm allowed to say that. Any mention of COVID-19 or even to ask any questions at all of it being a hoax or a biological weapon or something to do with some 5G tower, it's all stupid and crazy. There's no way that the celebrity elite power structure in the government would ever do anything like that to harm any of us. So I will cease and desist from ever referring to anything's ever again. I'm stupid. And any time that I ever think about that, I'm told that I have to listen to an Ariana Grande album over and over and over again. Oh, and P.S., by the way, Trump's a Russian spy. Fuck that shit, homie. Yeah, what's cracking, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of Prison Break Raw. I'm your host, the one and only Big JD. Go ahead, get this channel, subscribe, share, leave some messages and comments, hit the thumbs up for the like, hit the notification bell to be informed on all episodes when they drop. And like I said before, sharing is caring. Get the share on, push the share button, share it out there to your family, your friends, your coworkers, anywhere and everywhere in your social media platforms. Get this raw and uncut material out there to the millions that don't know we're here. Tinfoil hat time. Tinfoil hat. Hope everybody got their tinfoil hats on right now. We're going to talk about some breaking news in the YouTube world. Something that was left to linger in my features section when I was going to look at why another one of my videos was limited on its monetization. Apparently, I am in violation of the YouTube's new COVID-19 policy, and I'm going to break down the policy to you so that you understand what it says and what they're basically talking about. This is fucking absurd, man. It's crazy. Crazy as fuck. But I'm going to go ahead and run it through to you real quick. If you haven't familiarized yourself with it, you can look it up. You can go on Google and you can find it, and it'll be right there. So here it is, monetization update on COVID-19 content. Content that references and or features COVID-19 and adheres to our advisory-friendly and community guidelines is now eligible for monetization. Below are some examples of COVID-19 related content that don't meet our policies and will continue to have limited or no ads on that content. Distressing footage. Footage of people visually suffering due to COVID-19, including people visually sick in a hospital or medical care facility, people in distress, i.e. being forcibly removed from their location, of which I wouldn't put some shit like that on there myself, so I ain't tripping on that at all. Makes sense. Note, shots of hospitals or people coughing do not limit monetization so long as they are fleeting and are to provide context to the story. Whatever the hell that means. Medical misinformation content that misinforms users about health matters related to COVID-19. This includes content that encourages non-medical tests or exams for COVID-19 or false, unsubstantiated claims about the cause, promotion, or dangerous remedies of cures, origin, or spread of COVID-19 that contradict scientific consensus. And basically what's that saying is stop with all the steaming salt water and lemon juice and all that shit like that, because the CDC and the pharmaceutical drug cartels basically are telling you that don't work, so you won't be hearing about that from me. But you did anyways. Here's some more examples to consider in getting monetized. So this is for all you YouTubers out there that are monetizing your content, your videos. Here's some shit to familiarize yourself with. Examples of spreading false information according to their COVID-19 policies are government or governments created the virus as a bioweapon. Where have you heard that one before? Corporations created the virus. COVID-19 is spread via the 5G technology. COVID-19 targets certain ethnic groups. I haven't heard that one. Anyways, content that claims that the pandemic is a hoax, cover-up, or deliberate attack. Pranks or challenges any COVID-19 related prank or challenge that promotes medically dangerous activities such as purposeful exposure to the virus or incites panic, including licking toilet seat challenge. Is there really that kind of a challenge going on? Man, I thought Tide Pods was bad. Jesus fucking Christ, man. Millennials, man. You're some wild ones, I'll tell you. Pretending to pass out in public, coughing, sneezing, or pretending to on bystanders of food product. Falsely telling your partner you have coronavirus. Dressing up in hazmat suits and inspecting others. Scaring others into thinking you are infected. Please remember that these are just some examples, and that is not a complete list. Creators in YouTube's self-certification program no longer need to rate their COVID-19 related content as a sensitive event under the sensitive issue question. So what they ask you to do is to fact-check your work. Use reputable sources from organizations such as the World Health Organization, Centers for Disease Control, National Health Services. Be sensitive to the fact that this is an ongoing global crisis. So, basically, the things that are not off limits that you can talk about is you can talk about how AIDS and HIV was possibly a government-created virus. You could talk about how the government might have assassinated Kennedy. You could talk about how the government might have been involved in 9/11. The government might have been involved in the Las Vegas shooting. You could talk about white privilege. You could talk about how Donald Trump's a Russian spy. You could talk about basically all those things, the Bermuda Triangle, Bigfoot, the Illuminati, and the evil Freemasons. You can do all that stuff, but no way, shape, or form can you say anything that is not approved regarding the COVID-19. So here's what I'm going to do. 2 things that I can do in regards to this. Number 1, if I choose to not cease and desist from asking the tough questions, from covering the area from a raw angle, raw, uncut, uncensored, no holds barred, then I will basically turn off my monetization completely. I won't request monetization for those videos at all. You will be seeing that stuff free of charge, without commercials or anything like that, period. That's one thing that I can do. Another thing that I could do is if you really want the really raw, uncut, the really in-your-face, then you'll probably have to follow me on Patreon. And I never wanted to really get into the Patreon thing before because I like to keep this as affordable as possible, and I know that I have to charge you something on Patreon, but know this, that if I do decide to set up Patreon and basically have Prison Break Raw on Patreon as well, then guess what? You will be getting all kinds of raw and uncut material that you won't be able to find here on YouTube because they'll just block it, turn it off, do all that shit. Patreon don't give a fuck. Patreon don't care. So, those are the 2 options that I can explore regarding this off-limits subject, and I will honor what YouTube has to say. I won't seek monetization for anything on that matter. If I'm talking about any of this COVID stuff, I will not seek any monetization. This announcement, this public service announcement right here is not going to be monetized either. So, they can go ahead and say whatever they want, do whatever they want. It's their platform. I mean, I'm just basically a peon on this here YouTube world. But they made it a point to make sure that I was familiar with these rules. But most of these other YouTubers that are out there, they're a bunch of yes men and status quo types. Want to keep you entertained with all their BS and bullshit. I mean, goddamn, man, this COVID-19 is more off limits than talking about Wes Watson's stay on the S&Y yard. It's crazy, but it's true. COVID-19 actually moved up to the top spot as off limits. You can't talk about a blasphemy. So Wes Watson got moved down to spot number 2 for all you Westy sissies out there. Yep. Sorry. But yeah, that's what it is, man. I just wanted to drop this little quick vid to tell you about this. No, nobody came to my house and brainwashed me. Fuck, they've tried to do that. Wouldn't work because I'm cut from a different cloth. Much different cloth, as you guys already know. I don't subscribe to any theory, practice, political organization, or anything whatsoever. I am completely and utterly detached from it all. Not much of a joiner type. Not much of a believe everything that I hear type of an individual either. So I'm basically the one that is always going to be the underdog in all of these things. I'm always going to be the one that people just can't stand. You don't know why you can't stand me. You just know that you just can't stand me. But that's all fine and good because that's the way I like to roll. Living under the radar, out of people's influence. People influence these channels and influence these people on here. They lose their originality. They lose their individuality. And that's one thing that I will never sacrifice, even if it means that they tear down my channel one day, because it's probably going to happen sooner or later. They'll probably just tear the whole channel down. And if that happens, don't be surprised if you don't see me pop up again. You know what I mean? Like a case of the herpes, man. You just won't be able to get rid of me any way, shape, or form. So here it is. Like I said, I got those 2 options. I will be pondering this over the next few days, and we'll see what happens. You will be the first one to know of any changes. But if I do to continue to talk about this COVID-19 on YouTube, it will be without monetization at all, period. Basically all I can say about that. So that's what it is. Very suspicious, this policy. Very suspicious. But, like I said, man, I pay rent here. You know what I mean? I don't own the platform, so I don't make the rules. You know what I mean? Beat me with some stones, man. That's all I'm saying. Prison Break Raw, uncut, uncensored, no holds barred, not sugarcoated, not politically. I can't even say that with a straight face right now after reading that shit. But you know what it is. Slapping you with a dick of reality, and I'm out.